Balmoral Castle, the royal estate where Queen Elizabeth II died last September, will reopen its doors to the public this weekend, on April 1. The Scottish estate is open from April to July every year, and despite the events of recent months, 2023 is no exception. There will, however, be some changes, the most significant being the launch of its first exhibition, Monarchs at Balmoral, which will display photographs of the royal family at the Aberdeenshire residence over the years. The images will pay tribute to the late Queen, who was known to thoroughly enjoy her time spent at the royal residence. Described as a journey from the era of Queen Victoria to the present day, the exhibition will look back at the monarch who fell in love with the Scottish home and left her mark on the 50,000 acres of the estate that sprawls across gardens, mountains, forests, valleys, and lochs. The royal family's history with the castle dates back to the reign of Queen Victoria after Albert Prince Consort bought the property as a gift for his wife. Albert, who felt a strong connection to the Highlands as its landscape reminded him of his native Germany, paid £32,000 for the castle in 1852, roughly around £4 million today. The current castle is a rebuild of the original property, which the prince considered too small for Victoria at the time. Inside, the Queen indulged in her love of Scottish heraldry and tartan. The curtains, the furniture, the carpets, the furniture are all of the different plaids, Secretary of State Lord Clarendon noted in 1856. And the thistles are in such abundance that they would rejoice the heart of a donkey if they happened to look like his favourite repast, which they don't. Prince Harry voted second most popular royal to succeed King Charles. In shocking new poll, Prince Harry is the surprising second choice to be the next monarch in a new poll, despite his attacks on the royal family in his memoir Spare and Netflix TV series. In first place was the first in line to the throne Prince William, who received the vast majority of the votes for who should succeed their father King Charles. Find out more here. For the Queen, the estate became my dear paradise in the Highlands. Dr. Tessa Dunlop told the Channel 5 documentary, Secrets of the Royal Gardens, "It's like being immersed in a different world going up to Scotland. This was their patch where they could do things how they liked." Victoria, who privately owned Balmoral, made particularly bizarre additions to its grounds, including structures that seemed more at home in Egypt than the Highlands. This was, as the documentary's narrator explained, a stone pyramid so strange and so puzzling it still raises questions today. Not only is the structure itself odd, but the mystery of the Balmoral pyramid actually runs even deeper, cultural historian Dr. Janina Ramirez said. "We don't really know who made it, where the materials came from, it just seems to have appeared." Built in 1862, the pyramid was a tribute to the Queen's husband, who had died in December 1861 aged 42. The inscription reads, "To the beloved memory of Albert, the great and good Prince Consort." Erected by his broken-hearted widow, Victoria R., 21st of August 1862. Art historian Jackie Klein explained, "It's a pyramid of rough-hewn stone, built into the ground. It's completely unembellished. It looks ancient and it has a kind of solemnity and quietness about it, totally different from the Albert Memorial in Kensington Gardens." The Balmoral pyramid was traditionally inspired by traditional cairns, a man-made pile of stones which have been used to mark burial sites in Scotland since prehistoric times, and it is not the only one on the Aberdeenshire estate. There are in fact 16 cairns at Balmoral, with one single cairn on the adjoining Burkle estate, the majority of which were erected by Victoria. Don't miss: Harry and Meghan struggling to sustain long-term fame. Latest poll: should King make more state visits to forge ties with the world? Poll: William denied Queen Mother's request for fear shed outshine him. Insight: each cairn commemorates the life of a member of the royal family and/or events in their lives. Some celebrate the marriages of the Queen's children, such as Princess Louise's cairn to honour her wedding to the Marquis of Lorne in 1871, and the Princess Royal's nuptials, which paid tribute to her union with Frederick, Crown Prince of Prussia, in 1858. A cairn was also built in memory of the Duchess of Kent, Victoria's mother. The Purchase Cairn, which has an extraordinary view down Deeside, was erected in October 1852 to commemorate the purchase of the estate by Victoria and Albert, and the Ballochbuie Cairn marks the purchase by the Queen of the Ballochbuie Forest in 1878. A cairn to commemorate John Brown, a Scottish personal attendant and favourite of the Queen, was erected by Victoria after Brown's death, but it was later removed at the behest of Edward VII, with whom Brown had often clashed and who disliked the attendant. It was later replaced with his statue. Then, some 150 years later, two cairns were constructed to mark the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II. In 2012, 60 stones, one for each year of Her Majesty's reign, were laid in the village of Ballater. A second cairn was erected on the Balmoral estate and unveiled by the Queen. Marked with an etched slate plaque with the Queen's initials and the date, the cairn was a gift to the monarch from her Scottish warrant holders and current and former employees at the residence. It was surmounted with a top stone found in a nearby river, and a 10-year-old malt whisky was poured over the final stone to mark its completion. However, of course, the largest and most impressive cairn is the Balmoral Pyramid. Albert's cairn is one of a kind, according to Dr. Ramirez, who said, "The thing that's different about the Albert one is it is very smooth. Its simplicity and its symbolism are so powerful. I think just the fact that it's located away from everybody, as a place where Victoria could privately remember her husband, there's something very powerful about that."